I heard once that a 3-cylinder has a funky sound. You may have also heard that it sounds like a halved 6-cylinder. Despite this harder time when downsizing and 3-cylinders are coming along, theoretically making them less attractive, they are engines like any other, and in some cases they may be even cooler than a bigger 4-banger. Anyway, here's a list of 13 of the coolest 3-cylinder automobiles. Daihatsu Charade GTti. When the Charade GTti came out in 1987, allegedly it was the first production car to have over 100 horsepower per liter, but I think only amongst ordinary cars, if ever. Anyway, the CB 3-cylinder engine provided a pretty big output for such a lightweight 3-door hatchback. Besides, the engine is fuel injected and doesn't need much to get over 150 horsepower. DKW 3 equals 6 is a ridiculous name without any sense, or is it? DKW actually tried to underline that the 2-stroke 3-cylinder has a very similar firing to a 4-stroke 6-cylinder. The 2-stroke has its flaws though, but that's for another debate. The engine had a single Solex carburetor and over the years made a power upgrade from 34 to 40 horsepower. BMW i8. As a crazy looking sports car, the BMW i8 surprisingly has only a 3-cylinder engine combined with a front-mounted electric motor. The whole system has 362 horsepower, but the 1.5-liter combustion engine itself has 231 of them. It is the B38 K15TO as a performance variant of the 3-cylinder used in the Minis or BMW 2 Series. Melkus RS1000. The RS1000 from the East Germany was a sports car suitable for streets as well as tracks. A power donor was the Warburg 353, using mainly its chassis and engine. The 2-stroke unit received a triplets of carburetors, improved exhaust system, and a high compression ratio to gain 20 more horsepower. It was connected to a 5-speed manual from the Bakaj B1000, and the car had independent suspension on both axles. Honda Beat. The Honda Beat is one of the most recognized K cars of the 90s, with its Pininfarina design. Unlike its competitors, it was naturally aspirated, mainly benefiting from individual throttle bodies. Its rev limiter was somewhere around 9000 RPM, and if you didn't know, it was the very last car to be approved by the father of the company, Soichiro Honda, before his death. Ford Fiesta EcoBoost. The Ford Fiesta with the 1-liter EcoBoost unit was amongst the first to bring a 3-cylinder turbo in this era. It is often described as the best one, winning not just 1 or 2 awards of the Engine of the Year contest. Its most powerful version has 140 horsepower, which is pretty decent for a 1-ton heavy hatchback. Besides that, a new Fiesta ST is going to have a 1.5-liter three-banger as well. Suzuki Cappuccino. Originally, the Cappuccino was intended to be sold within the Japanese islands only, as the Honda Beat competitor, but in 1992 it appeared on the British International Motor Show and sales were launched in the UK. It featured a turbocharged bell-driven F6A engine, which was swapped for the lighter K6A chain-driven in combination with an LSD later on. Aquila Synergy. Whether you believe me or not, Aquila is a Danish company owned by a former teacher of mine in Denmark. At the time of my studies, he with his team were finishing his new product called the Synergy. It is extremely lightweight and many parts are shared with the Toyota Aygo, Peugeot 107 and Citroën C1, such as the engine, gearbox, axles, steering and others. Saab 93 and 96. Being Saab's second production car, the 93 model featured a 2-stroke mounted longitudinally powering front wheels. The engine was later reused with the new 96 model, which received a slight engine volume increase. It was fitted with a single carburetor making 38 horsepower, but there was also the option to have 3 carburetors reaching 57 horsepower. Subaru Justy. The original Subaru Justy was powered by either of the 2 3-cylinder engines. Using the widened and stretched platform of the Subaru Rex K car, the Justy was offered with a front or all-wheel drive system. On some markets, it was only sold with the bigger 1.2-liter engine and 4x4. Autozam AZ-1. From the design standpoint, the Autozam AZ-1 is the most interesting K car with its cute look and most notably gull-wing doors. Behind the seats there was the Suzuki-sourced turbocharged inline-3. Later on, Mazda introduced a Mazda Speed version with a different body kit, revised suspension and limited slip diff. Mazda Furai. The Furai wasn't only a concept and show car, it was a working race car. Forget that it doesn't have a reciprocating engine. The 20B peripheral ported 3-rotor engine was tuned by a company called Racing Beat to run on the 100% ethanol, which makes it able to reach an output of 450 horsepower at 9000 rpm. A sad thing is that it was the one-off concept which caught on fire and burned to the ground during the Top Gear test drive. Smart Roadster. The Smart Roadster was the second model by this German company. With its low weight, it was fine with a little 700cc turbocharged rear-mounted engine. Its output was between 61 to 82 horsepower, while a Brabus variant was introduced as well. That one had a lowered suspension, twin-pipe exhaust and 100 horsepower.
If you would tell me I'm the only one that you love.